Okay, my name is Eloy. I'm here again to inform you a little bit about the muscles of facial expression or the muscles of mastication a little bit. So, what I have here is a model head, wig head, that I cut out different colored felts and attached them with pins to the foam surface to represent the placement and the shape of these muscles. So I'm just going to kind of run through it from superior to inferior and from kind of superficial to deep and kind of go through and explain a little bit about them. So up top, we have the frontalis or frontal muscles on top of the head here. And they insert anteriorly into the dermis of the skin near the eyebrows and the root of the nose, and the origin is at the top of the skull near the hairline. They're innervated by the temporal branch of the facial nerve, cranial nerve 7, and they work in to elevate the eyebrows and wrinkles the forehead transversely. So then next on the sides here, we have the temporalis. The temporalis origins from the temporal fossa and the temporal fascia. It inserts into the apex medial surface of the choroid process and the ramus of the mandible. And then it's innervated deep by the deep nerves of the anterior branch of the mandibular branch, number 5. And they work into elevate and retract the mandible. So to lift the jaw and retract it. Okay, and then next we have these small little guys, the levator labii superioris. They originate, or they actually, this one is the levator labii superioris alki nasi. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Levator labii superior alki nasi. And they insert mid-laterally region from the upper lip here to the, and their origin is from the frontal process of the maxilla, so the top here. And they're innervated by the buccal or buccal branch of the facial nerve, cranial nerve number 7, and they operate to elevate the lip. And then next we have the levator labii superioris, and that's kind of like this muscle right here, this red felt right here, under here. And that one, its origin is the infraorbital margin of the maxilla, so right under the orbital, the eye there. It inserts in the mid-lateral region of the upper lip, and it's innervated by the buccal branch of the number 7 facial nerve again. And then it works to elevate your upper lip right up here. Okay. And then so next to there we have this yellow one right here, the zygomatic minor. And the zygomatic minor, its origin is the facial surface of the zygomatic bone, so your cheekbone here. It inserts mid-lateral region of the upper lip, and it's innervated again by the buccal or buccal branches of the number 7 cranial nerve, the facial nerve. And then so we have the minor, and then on the side we have the major, this green felt here that represents the zygomatic major. Its origin is lateral to the zygomatic minor there, and it inserts from the corner of the lip or the orbicularis oris, right there. It's innervated by the buccal branches of the facial nerve again, the number 7. And then deep to that, we have this kind of violet felt right here, so kind of under here. This is the restoris, kind of by the, right there, yeah, restoris. Right here, that's origin is posterior region of the face along the fascia of the masseter. So that the masseter is this kind of blue, bigger, larger muscle here. And it inserts to the orbicularis oris, so you're kind of below your lip, or right in your lip here. It's innervated also by the buccal branch of the facial nerve, cranial nerve number 7. It retracts the lips at the corners of the mouth, and the superior and pharyngeal constrictor. So deep to the rostris, we have the masseter here, right? This, that larger muscle underneath the rostris. And that's the origin is the zygomatic arch. So your cheekbone, medial surface, and inferior border of the zygomatic arch. It inserts to the lateral surface of the ramus. So like your jawbone there, the body of it, and the angle of the mandible. It's innervated by the mandibular branch, number 5, the trigeminal cranial nerve. It elevates and protrudes the mandible. So it elevates and pushes out, right? And then so kind of on the surface, more superficial, we have the orbicularis oris, so the muscles right behind your lips, right there. And that's superior and inferior. Sometimes they're considered one muscle, but for our purposes, I guess there are two. There's an inferior, and then this is superior and inferior. And then its origin is the corner of the lips, and it inserts opposing corner of the lips. And then it's innervated by the nerve 7, the facial nerve of the cranial nerve, and it constricts the mouth opening, like helps it open and close. And then deep to that, we have, what is that one? That one's, this one is the depressor. Actually, we'll go, the depressor, or DLI, the depressor libi inferioris. Depressor libi inferioris. Its origin is the mandible at the oblique line, so the oblique line of the jaw. And it inserts into the lower lip. It's innervated by the mandible margin branch of the cranial nerve 7. So your facial nerve again. It works to dilates the orifice by pulling the lips down and out. So that helps pull your lips down and out there. And then so deep to that one here, we have a couple other muscles. We have this other blue one, and that's the depressor anguli oris. The depressor anguli oris, and that's origins the lateral margin of the mandible of the oblique line. It inserts into the orbicularis oris and the upper corners of the upper lip corners. It's innervated by the mandibular branch of the facial nerve, number 7 again. And it works to depress the corners of the mouth and helps compress the upper lip against the lower lip. So then deep to that too, we have the buccaneer, or the buccaneer. And that's way deep. That's below the masseter. And that's right here, this one, this muscle right here. So I'll just need a pin to pin that in place. So right, the buccinator, and that's kind of like your cheek, outer cheek there. Its origin is the petriogomandibular ligament. It inserts into the orbicularis oris, the corners of the mouth. It's innervated by the buccal branch, or buccal branch of the 7 of the cranial nerve 7. It moves food into the grinding surfaces of the molars and constricts the oral pharynx. So it helps move so you can grind it in your molars, constricts the oral pharynx. And then down here, way down here, kind of by the chin area, just deep to the depressor is the mentalis. So here would be your mentalis. That's the region, though its origin is the region of the incisive fossa of the mandible. It inserts into the skin of the chin just below. It's innervated by the mandibular branch of the marginal branch of the facial nerves, cranial nerve 7. And it works to elevate, wrinkles the chin, and pulls the lower lip outward. So it helps move your lips there, your lower lip. And then last but not least, we have the platysma, and that's this main red muscle here. So we undo this pin here, right there. This large muscle here, kind of on the neck. The platysma, its origin is the fascia overlay of the pectoral major, so it goes all the way down here and then to your deltoid. It inserts in the corner of the mouth region, kind of below the symphysis mentae, and then it's innervated by the cervical branch of the facial nerve number 7, and it helps depress the mandible. So it helps depress your mandible here. So that's kind of a run through of the muscles of facial expression and a little bit of mastication. I want to thank you for watching and have a good day. Thanks.